Welcome to microeconomics here at Newberry College. So if you're in microeconomics, I guess I assume that you've taken macroeconomics. I hope that's the case. If not, you might want to just come chat with me a little bit. But here we go. Off to microeconomics. I got to say, the purpose of this video is going to be to try to explain to you what we're going to cover here in microeconomics and explain also why you should care about taking this course. Outside of it being a requirement for your major, there's a lot to be gained from microeconomics. And very specifically, the thing that we're going to learn a lot about is going to help you to become a better business person. So hopefully that interests you a little bit, because hopefully you're in the business school because you care about business. Hope that's a valid assumption, and I hope you get excited about business, because the business world has got so many different little nuances. And in microeconomics, we're going to be studying some of those nuances. Specifically, we'll be talking about where prices come from. Now, I talk about inflation here. That's just prices going up. Hopefully you remember that from macro. But in microeconomics, we're going to really dive deep into price and figure out, how are these prices, how are they going to be determined in a marketplace? So first off, we have to build this idea of what does a marketplace look like? And then also, once we have an idea of a marketplace, we'll have to sort of build ideas about the different types of marketplaces. I'm going to call that market structure. So this course is generally organized, first off, in sort of defining a marketplace and then looking at different types of market structures. So think markets, we got firms, we have consumers, buyers, sellers. And what we're going to do partly is going to be to model some of those markets. Now, modeling is a very theoretical exercise, so there's some theory that we'll be modeling, and it's all going to be done using graphs. So using graphs as our model, the things that underlie those graphs are actually a lot of advanced calculuses and mathematics that we're not going to be diving into in this course. So this will be a graphical modeling of different types of marketplaces, coming from perfectly competitive markets all the way to monopolies. We have one firm in monopoly, you've got tons of firms in perfect competition, and then there's some shades of gray in between. And as it turns out, every one of these different marketplaces, the prices are going to be determined a little bit, the price dynamic will be a little bit unique in how prices are determined and what implications they have for different types of markets. And so by the end of the course, you should be able to look at any given market and kind of come up with at least a pretty good idea as to, what's driving the structure of those markets. That'll be something that you'll gain out of this course. Another thing to wear all these hands together, cooperation. So in microeconomics, we're also going to study some things that may not seem like they relate directly to business because, they're more general. So in this case, we'll be talking about, what are the things that we need to build more cooperative environments. So we're going to be using game theory here to really talk about, how to build cooperative environments. And hopefully, I kind of like this part of the course because it's not what you typically would think about microeconomics. And it sort of opens up your eyes to see that economics can talk about so many different types of things, social phenomenon. And cooperation is one of the things that it's kind of dear to my heart. It's like, what are the environments that we need what are the things that we need to achieve in order to make more competitive, more cooperative environments, And this can be applied, these kind of ideas can be applied in your personal life. They can be applied in business settings. If you're a manager of, running an organization, how are you going to bake cooperation into your organization to get people working more productively together? Or what kinds of things, if they're present, might destroy that kind of cooperative environment. So hopefully this will help you to sort of understand these things and be better managers within your personal life and also your professional life. That's the goal there. Getting back to sort of more business type traditional things, there's some real key ideas about product life cycle. Many of you probably haven't, maybe this is your first time seeing the product life cycle, but this particular cycle is so, by the end of the class, you'll see that it's everywhere. You keep your eyes open. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I got some potato chips here. There's a brand of potato chips. That brand started off maybe being introduced to the market. There was a growth period. Eventually, it declines. And what's driving that whole process? So by the end of the class, you'll understand, what drives the product life cycle, and hopefully that'll help to make you better managers. And again, the whole purpose of why you should care is because this class is going to help you to really become a better manager, and also to understand price dynamics. And there's going to be some things, actually, we'll do some data exercise. So I talked to you about what we're going to do, some theory with graphs, also going to do some data exercise. So the cool thing about microeconomics is I'm going to show you how to take real data from a business and how to very simply sort of look at this in a way to help you make better pricing decisions. So if you're ever in charge of any kind of pricing of any kind of product ever in your life, microeconomics is critically important for you to understand. Okay, from both a theoretical way and also from a data way. Why is data so cool? Because you can get access to it. So the cool thing is this isn't just like pie in the sky kind of ideas of stuff. Like, no, you can actually, I'm going to show you how to get your hands on really making real decisions, real business decisions about pricing that are data driven. I think that's super cool. That's going to empower you wherever you go in your business profession. So I hope that at least motivated you all to care a little bit about microeconomics. I realize that, being part of the major, some of you may have more or less motivation, and there's only so much I can really do to motivate people. That has to come from inside of you. So the world's very interesting. The world has so many different nuances, and you understanding those different nuances is going to empower you just as a human, as a person, a business professional in so many ways. And I hope that you are more empowered and you feel more empowered by the end of this course.